So, before I get into what really my project's about, I would like to play a game with everyone. It's called Real Talk with Muskkan, and it's supposed to be a rapid fire round game. So, I will give you precisely 5 seconds to give me an answer about a question that I ask you on spot. And don't worry, it's gonna be very easy. So whoever I point at, please just answer and be free and don't get too worried. Even if you can't think of anything, you can just look at me and say I can't think of anything. So it's all right, okay? So I'll start with Laura. What's your favorite color? Okay. What was your favorite birthday memory?
Oh my god. I made the donut baking workshop once.
Perfect. What was your favorite vacation spot? Interesting. Okay. What is your favorite memory with your siblings or your friends? Anyone?
Just going out to eat and
Okay. Andre, what is your favorite hairstyle?
Hairstyle?
Yes. Okay. When was the last time you said something that was true?
Always.
Okay.
The love letter.
Oh, okay. When was the last time you found it hard to say something that was true? Muskan. Okay. Mm. How often do you find yourself overthinking? Okay. Okay. How often do you find yourself actually expressing what you really feel? Yeah? Only when asked. Okay. Okay. Are you on social media? Anyone? Yeah. Yes? Okay. Do you post regularly?
not now yes, sorry.
Yes?
Yes, yes.
Okay. When you go to an event, do you feel like you have to post about the event? No? Okay. How often do you share something that's true to what happened in the day? Like, if you're at this event, do you think you will share that? Or would you, if you're crossing something, like, some people create a picture for aesthetics and they post it up. Do you think you find yourself doing that? Or do you think you find yourself actually being in that moment, clicking that picture and posting it? Second one? Okay, so the reason I thought of doing this was I found myself asking the question, how do you stay authentic in a world that constantly criticizes your vulnerability? And I found that a lot of us get pressurized to be a different version of ourselves when we represent ourselves on social media. And since social media is such a big part of our lives, or at least for some people, I feel like it becomes very tough because then you don't know where to draw the line between who you really are. And sometimes you just don't really want to show the world what you really feel, but it's difficult when you try to create content, or when you try to create, I don't know, maybe a place where you want to express. And I found myself realizing from my personal experiences that my social media is no longer for my self-expression, but rather like this virtual page of who I think I need to be. So when I connect with someone, when they want to know more about me, they will probably, go through my page. And I feel like I don't do justice to that, which made me never want to be active on it anymore, even though I'm so passionate about it, or maybe, I really like it. So I wanted to create a space where I feel like I can promote this authenticity. And I'm starting small with first trying to understand how easy is it for people to really be themselves, which is why I started with this game where you had to kind of think, wait, what is my spot, you know? And I felt like if I didn't create any pressure for you to give me the right answer, maybe you actually reveal something that is true to you. And you don't overthink the situation like the way we think before we post something that, oh, wait, how would my friends think about this? Or how would my, whoever's following me think about this? So maybe one day I hope I could create, a space like that on a social media platform. So yes, that's a bit about what my project is. And that was my first intervention. Thank you.
So I have a question,
Yes.
if I may. Can you hear me? Shall I put the mic on? Yeah, great, thank you. Thank you very much.
No worries.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
So I have a question, but it's really an observation of how I use social media. So I have an Instagram account, but it's not really active. I don't really use it much. And I was torn between how I actually use Instagram. So as a lecturer, as an academic, is there an expectation to what people might see on Instagram? And actually it wasn't, maybe about 6 months ago, someone saw my Instagram, and if you care to look at it, you'll see images of stuff that I've knitted. It's my space I go to, so I've revealed it. Actually, what I'm saying is, this is where I go to if I'm creating. So I'm doing, this is what I feel comfortable. But people were expecting another side. They may be expecting academic stuff or other stuff. There was a different expectation. For me, the authentic stuff is in my own space. Is revealing not so much what I want the world to see, but what is true to me, and that is revealing some of my craft or painting, or I'll put a link to a sound where I create music, create that authentic side. So I just wanted to make the question to you and perhaps everyone else is, where do we start to question what authentic is? Is it authentic to yourself, or is it authentic to other people's expectations? Because that's a big area as well. But what perhaps did you find in your own experience?
So that was one of the questions that I found myself pondering over as well. And that's when I realized that we define our own definitions of what is authentic. Because what might be true to me might not be true to you. Like you said, you have these certain expectations that people have of you just because they see one side of your personality in your workspace. But you have so much more to give. Which is why I feel like that knitting that you do or the music that you create is also a part of you, which makes it authentic to you. And I guess that's what we have to find. Yes.
No, this is more of like an observation about that. Because I feel like I used to feel very pressured to fulfill the idea that other people had of me. Because I feel like a lot of people just make up this idea of a person, but we're always growing and changing, so it's really hard to really like understand who a person is. And I started after, especially after pandemic. Well, yeah, especially after the pandemic, I started using, especially Instagram, not as a social media itself, but some sort of like a mood board, like a sort of collage. So I started sharing paintings that are kind of inspiring, writings, pictures. I like surrealism a lot, so I try to find surreal things in like reality. And I found that very liberating because I don't know if that picture I'm posting is authentic or not. Because it is a very broad term, but I know that the picture still, whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to, like even, I'm in some sort of authentic process.
So, yeah, I would agree with you. That's the entire point, you know. It could be about something that you've never done. It could be like, for example, I don't read a certain kind of genre, but if I read it today and I liked it and I want to post about it, it's true to me. And I feel like we don't have to overthink that, oh, wait, nobody knows I do this. If I post this, what if they think I'm pretentious? What if they think, I'm just trying to be someone I'm not? And I want to create that space where it doesn't matter you know, because and the best part about this project is that I feel like by the time I'm done, hopefully I'm there too, because I haven't reached that space, because I know when I'm having a bad day, I'm not sitting and expressing it on my social media. And I want to be able, like you said, stop looking at it as a social media, but more of a mood board. And I feel like these platforms started out first to express ourselves, and now they've turned into an act of consumerism, which is somewhere taken the fun out of it, and it's become more like, oh no, I need to make it seem like this is me and this is not me. So.
I like what you said about it. I think that is pretty much a question of self-image and self-identity. The image we have of ourselves and identity which we are expected of. And I think social media is just like one of the mediums where you're being your authentic self. I think that equates exactly to how you dress.
Mhm.
It is not for people.
Mhm.
Like I see it as dressing as a self-expression, and again, it's about who you think you are more than what people create the identity about it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Good point. Get the back. Shall I hand it Marco, or are you okay with it?
No, I have an observation and a question. Well, I was thinking that social media now, I think it's not only concept of identity and self-expression and how other people look at me, but also now social media are tools
Mhm.
for, I don't know, for your research, for your work. And this is also like a conflict. Thank you. It's also this conflict. Maybe it's true for yourself. You don't want to post it, but you post it because it will make some connections for you, like networking, or I don't know, tell people about your work. Yeah, so networking aspect also, not just what is authentic for other people about you, and this like a second angle. I don't know, because it's what I experienced. I understand that if I post, for example, more pictures of myself, it could bring more people to my page, and more people can connect me and remember about me, for example, because when I didn't post, people didn't reach out to me, even my friends who are not so close to me. And I was really surprised, and I was happy. Then someone texted me, "Hi, how are you?" Because they saw my post in the Instagram, and they realized we were not in touch for some time. And also, I wanted to ask you: do you have a vision of your final project, of the realization? What's the form of this website? What exactly you think you want to do?
So when I started out, I thought the max that it could reach would be like this page on Instagram, or a movement maybe. But the more that I started getting into it and breaking it down, I think I'm gonna leave like that the vision of where it's final open, just seeing, because I feel like if I create a vision of where I want it to be, I might not let myself explore in other directions of where it could reach. So I know what I want. Like, I know I want everybody to feel like it's a safe space and not get pressured into, making it something that it's not. And hopefully, keeping that in mind as, one of my motives, I could reach a vision that it can reach.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
I think it's a really interesting project. I'm really interested. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's really interesting. It's making me think of, I don't know if you've used Be Real, but I started using it recently. And I don't know if everyone here knows about it. I'm really behind the trend, but essentially you get like everyone who uses it at one point in the day, you get a notification and you've got 2 minutes, a window to post a picture, and it takes a picture of your front camera and your back camera at the same time. Be real, yeah. And maybe I'm really behind, sorry, but I heard of it. I was like, oh, wow. So just filling everyone in. But it's interesting because then it seems like maybe that's what they were thinking of. But actually, since I've started using it, I hate it. I still do it, but I hate it because I'm like, I get this notification and it's like, you've got 2 minutes. And if you don't do it within that time, it tells everyone that you're late. And the idea is it's kind of calling you out for being inauthentic. But then I deliberately try not to be on my phone all the time because, you know, I've been addicted to Instagram and I've weaned myself off it. And anyway, so I think that's really interesting because the premise behind it is that it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's just showing that everyone lives a normal life. You know, you could be on the toilet, you could be in a classroom, you could be like doing whatever. But actually, I feel like it's almost had the opposite effect. And I think I'm fortunate that I've had quite a healthy relationship in general with things like Instagram, using it in a creative way. There's not really a question here, but I'm just sharing that it's interesting. Yeah. And when you were, I'm not sure if the questions you were asking at the beginning were just as a demonstration or if that's an actual tool you use, but it's interesting because being under that time pressure, it's stressful. Yeah. But I guess the thinking is that if you don't overthink it, you get something out. Yeah. But then what's interesting about that is then since you've asked me that question, I've thought more, and actually my real answer is completely different to what I said because it was the first thing that came to my mind. And now I'm like, well, actually, no, that wasn't my favourite birthday. Yeah. But now I've thought about it and now I know what was. So I think the time element's interesting, and I think there's also something about it becoming a bit of a practice. So I'm just really interested to see where you take it in terms of creating a space, and if it is a digital space, whether it's something that's meant to cultivate, like how often you do it, whether it's left so that there's no pressure. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry for that ramble.
Totally, because this exact loop that you went through is the same process that I had, and in fact. Until last Monday, I knew that I wanted this to be about social media. But the more I thought about it, I was like, wait, if I do this, it's more about me as a person, or, you know, the people as a person, is who they are and what is authenticity. So I got into that loop. And I did discuss this game with a tutor, and she said that, you know what, from my experience, I don't think any of the answers that you get in the first round are going to be true. But the fact that you will get it, and, you know, it'll be under that time limit, it just might help them get a bit more, I guess, free to the idea of just answering, like you said, like not overthinking. But hopefully with time, like this was just an intervention, and I don't want to create that time pressure when it finally comes down, because like as much as I like being real, the concept. The same reason I didn't join it is because I was like, oh no, like what if it comes and I'm not available or something? And I feel like as much as it was a really good thought, it just kind of did not reach where it could have. So yeah. You're welcome.
So we'll take one more. I could see two hands up, but yeah, happy to take your questions.
It's not really a question. It's kind of, now that I've listened to what everyone said, so I thought about my own social media, and my Instagram is very unfiltered. I put anything. It's a private account, and a lot of people follow me on it, and it's people I know. I know who they are, and they know me on a personal level. There's no one there that I haven't met, that I don't know. But it's very unfiltered. And I post things, I was thinking about it, I post things, even on my Facebook, are things that I want to read, I want to get into, or a memory I want to come up in the next few years. So I realized my social media is a lot for me, right? That's one thing. It's for me. It's for me to remember in 5 years' time, oh my God, this happened on this day. And the second thing, as Rishi said, the boundary, where you keep that line. And I was thinking about where do I draw that line, because, like I said, very unfiltered, right? And I realized my line is what I'm about to post, does that hurt me or anybody else? Right? That's my check. What I'm about to post, does that hurt anyone? Right? And then even in the last question, talking about this authentic self, and I was thinking, you know, am I being authentic? Am I being myself? And I realized, yeah, my social media and what you see is what you get. But what is authentic to some, you know, to a person? Like what is authentic? right? Because we talk about filters and we talk about photoshopping, right? Like, what is the definition of that authenticity, right? And then, you know, as RuPaul said, like, we're all born naked, the rest is drag, right?
Okay, so I have an answer for your third question, which is what is really authentic. So, exactly. So if you are a person who likes using filters, who likes undergoing through surgeries, that is you. You know, you don't have to be apologetic about it. You don't have to think that people are going to judge you. They might, they will anyways judge you. But if it makes you happy, and if it is who you are, and if it's like I asked one of the questions, was it a memory that made you feel like you liked it? Go ahead, be yourself. You know, I think it's more about accepting and creating, you know, reaching a stage where you're unapologetic about who you really are.
But there has to be a check for that, right? Right? I mean, if you're going to hurt somebody in the process of being mean,
Yeah.
you know, being yourself. Sorry, with somebody else?
Just behind you, Tia. Just one more behind you.
Hi, Muskkan.
Hi.
Thank you for that. It was really interesting. And this is also not really a question, it's more of an observation, because I was actually thinking about how I personally navigate those issues in terms of showing your authentic self on social media.
Yeah.
And personally, I do that by coating my vanity and self-absorption with a really thick layer of sarcasm and self-deprecation, which is, I find that personally works for me because I feel less bad about, you know, like, I don't know, just like what personally works for me. So I guess I'm still being authentic to myself in a way, but also...
You know, because that definition changes with time.
Because the self is really a fluid concept,
Yes.
but you always feel judged and
Yes.
observed by other people,
Yeah.
and then, you know, all those filters, like
That's
the actual and metaphorical ones that come to play when you post. I think we should, I hope, are you gonna kind of incorporate that into your project in terms of...
fluidity, yes. I was hoping to get that.
In terms of
aspect.
reception as well, so like, okay.
Because it gets stuff, like I said, one of my stakeholders would obviously be YouTubers or people who professionally use social media platforms, and it gets even more tough for them because they're always under our eye, and we might follow them for a certain kind of content, and then if they don't deliver, we start hating on it or we start unfollowing, and it gets tough. And then I think they get into this process of just posting for the sake of it rather than what they were originally passionate about. So I hope to, you know, just like make a break in that cycle and bring it back to where it really began. So yeah, I mean, I will have to think about what Tia said about, you know, what if people are just mean and say that's me? I mean, that could be something that I haven't included, but yeah, about the fluidity.
That's
Yeah.
always an issue.
Yeah.
Social animals, people should just let us be. Let it be.
So yeah.
Thank you.
But thank you, everyone.
So much respect.
Would you like to speak to me?